What up, everybody? It's your boy Theo Pitts here. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube so you never miss any Run Your Race content. What up, everybody? It's your boy Theo Pitts here for another episode of Run Your Race with my boy AJ Richardson.
Good morning, beautiful people.
There he go with that shit again. This episode, I'm very, very, very excited about. I got my guy, my vet, my coach now. Listen, this is going to be a good one. My guy, Jared Dudley.
I haven't done a podcast in a while since I've been a coach. I don't want to get fired. But when Theo said, come on, I said, you know what, let's bump his ratings up a little bit.
Hey, listen, I need it. Hey, listen, I'm telling y'all right now, this podcast about to be epic. So, JD, I appreciate you coming on with us, bro.
Glad to be here.
Greatly appreciate it. We just getting this thing started, so we appreciate you coming on. So what we do here, we pretty much go start to finish. We talk about our race. Me and AJ, we both had different races. Everybody does, as you have throughout your whole career. So we start from high school. We start from the very beginning. First off, why don't you tell us about where you're from, when you started playing basketball, or even did you play any other sports? First of all, just tell us where you're from and all that.
San Diego, California. I went to Horizon Christian, and my race is very unique. Being from the West Coast, Horizon was one of the best, if not the best, basketball school in San Diego, which not saying too much. People don't know a lot about San Diego basketball, but 2 state titles my junior and senior year. Okay. 3 CIF titles. Our one loss my senior year was to the 5th ranked team in the country, Westchester. People remember it was Trevor Ariza, Bobby Brown, and people remember that's when Braun got his high school jersey. Remember the jerseys he had got suspended. He came back and had 50 on them and won. Yes. They were the #1 team in the country at that time. That was our only loss my senior year. And the one unique thing that I did that they actually changed the rule on was when I was a senior in San Diego, I declared for prep school. And at this time, the West Coast didn't have any prep schools. So I was going to go to South Kent and play with Darrell Wright before he entered the draft out of prep school. Yep. And so what that ended up happening was, because of my birthday being in July, I didn't turn 18 to when my senior year was over. I actually got to play the summer circuit again. Okay. So my senior year, once I'm done playing, I'm now, instead of being the youngest kid my senior year, I'm now the oldest in the summertime. So I got to go to ABCD with Dwight Howard. It was the last year of the draft. So it was Dwight, Livingston, Telfair, J.R. Smith, Josh Smith. It was that draft class, and I made the all-star team there. And it wasn't until now it's August where I'm supposed to go to prep school. BC had a scholarship. So I ended up getting to play the summer circuit. August, I declared I was going to BC, and then I went right to BC. So I kind of used a fake prep school to have a summer circuit and to be able to go into BC. And if it wasn't for that circuit and me balling, BC would have never seen me. I would have had to go to prep school, and who knows what the college of the future would have been.
Did you already have like a lot of offers and stuff like that?
Didn't. Only offers I had my senior was St. Mary's before they were even good, and Creighton. And Creighton was a top 25 school, but San Diego State didn't offer. USD at that time.
You wanted to go to San Diego State?
I wanted to go to Oregon. Bryce Taylor went to Oregon, so I ended up playing my senior year when I got to play that summer circuit. Ali Goldstein, who was from San Diego, hooked me up with the Pump Brothers. Jordan Farmer was our point guard. Nick Young was our shooting guard. And we had Lorenzo Mato went to UCLA. He was the center. And so I got to play with them. We didn't practice. We won the Bob Givens. We won the best of summer in LA.
Bob Givens tournament. Slept on. That tournament was unreal. Unreal.
We beat the Atlanta Celtics when they had Javaris Crittenton, Josh Smith, and Randolph Morris. Beat them by 20. So the Bob Givens, if you win by 20 in the second half, game stops.
Yeah, game is over.
Game is over.
Hey,
game is over.
That was real basketball back then.
Yeah.
Teams were stacked. You had players up and down. Like, you go to any game you play, you playing a top 10 player or somebody.
Oh, for
somebody
sure.
Was on it.
I played against Big Baby in there. Ooh. Everyone. No, it was so many people, man. But I loved it. It was my chance because I've always been the underdog, even high school, junior high, high school, college.
That's what we want to get into.
Yeah.
So, like, what was it? you started playing, how old were you when you first started playing?
The ball was in my hand around 3rd or 4th grade. I mean, just like every parent tried to put you on all sports. I played football a little bit, soccer, baseball. But to me, basketball was my niche. I was just super coordinated. It's just my body didn't catch up to my mind yet until I hit the junior high school.
Gotcha.
So it took me a while for me to build. I was a late bloomer, definitely a late bloomer. But San Diego, we were always the little brother to LA. So it was more like you always had to be the underdog. You had to do twice as more just to get the recognition of how it was for LA. And so for me, it suited me. It suited me of where high school I was going to go to. And it suited me at Boston College at the time. Picking BC at that time in August was, hey, listen, they had Craig Smith from California. He was a second team all-conference player. People knew BC, but no one really respected BC at the time. But it was like an East Coast, where I was more of an East Coast player anyway, which was just tough, rugged, and it was something that, hey, listen, underdog school, underdog player, and you got to make them what they are.
Got you. So what was something throughout in high school that it clicked for you? Like, okay, I can really play this game at a high level. Like, what was it? For example, in middle school, I was getting the recognition of like high schools trying to get me to come to their school. So I was like, okay, I must be somewhat good because everybody wants me there. So I'm like, what was it for you that like, okay, or was it a tournament or something like that?
We had a big basketball school. So my freshman year, I didn't play varsity. My sophomore year, I didn't play till like the middle of the year. So we were already there. And then I'm a big believer is everyone gets the opportunity. You might not get 2 or 3 chances. You get one, you got to make the most of it. And so there was a tournament in there. He put me in the 4th quarter. I scored 10 to 12 points. I got to play the next game, had 20. I had 20 that game, and then I started and never looked back. So it was that one tournament time, Christmas time was it was a big high school tournament, and it was from this is my opportunity. And how I got the opportunity, our best player got suspended for being late. And you know how coaches back then, if you were late to practice or missed, hey, you're benched for a half, or you're not playing this game against a sorry team. And I got my opportunity, and I never looked back, man.
And that's the tough part, because like you don't ever wish bad on somebody else.
Right.
But
listen,
that's how it happens. You know what I'm saying? That's how people come on the scene. Somebody goes down with a freak injury, somebody gets suspended, does something stupid, and then it's like, oh, we had this.
Yeah.
We had Jared Dudley here the whole time. Now you got your opportunity, took full advantage of it. What was so Ben, like you said, LA's the big, Los Angeles the big
that's the big dog.
That's the big dog. And you're the big they're the big brother. So what is something that you had to overcome as far as like, was there any obstacle that you had to overcome in high school, or like something that you was like, you know what, this is really tough and I got to like mentally get past? Because you made a good statement, like your body didn't catch up with your mind.
I mean, you got to think about it, man. Like I told you, we won state twice. I was state player of the year. I was San Diego player of the year, and you didn't have San Diego State offer you. At that time it was the LA, remember, and people don't remember, it was Evan Burns who went to UCLA, offered him. He was a McDonald's All-American class of me and LeBron, that 2003 or 2007 draft. And then eventually he couldn't qualify, so San Diego State took him. So San Diego State was taking the leftover LA players that couldn't get into the UCLA, USC. And so they were forgetting about us. And at that time we went up and played Compton Centennial with Aaron Afalo. Remember Kendrick Lamar was talking about that and how it was? I remember beating them by 25-30. And I remember, this is a kid that's going to UCLA. I didn't know he'd make it to the NBA, be a follow you played against. It was these kids you were going against, or Fairfax, and we would beat Fairfax.
I'm killing him.
So what it is my game just wasn't sexy at that time. It was a tweener wasn't sexy. When you were 3-4, or you didn't have a position. Now you want everyone to be a tweener.
You want it.
That's how it was. The Draymonds, those guys, like that's why he was a 2nd round pick. He's undersized, the power forward. And so that's all it was. And so how I look at it, listen, man, life is not fair. You're not gonna always get, what you want. And for my whole thing, it's just different routes. We all go through different routes. And if I would have gone to UCLA, I might not have made it. I think I might have, but there's so many All-Americans I might not play at BC. People don't know this. My junior, senior year, I led the country in minutes. Who would have thought a guy like me, my size, body type, who can run and jump, I'm leading the whole country. I'm not coming out the game. I'm like 39 and a half. It was like a 30-second breather. You go back in. You know what I'm saying? So for that opportunity to have it, to be an All-American my senior year, to, be in the Big East. We won the Big East. I got to play in the Big East and ACC. I'm the only player ever who was the Big East and ACC first team. These are two different ones ever. You never had that. Nuts. No one even knows that stat. That's how you got to humble yourself. I only want.
Hey, listen, we gotta get into it. We gotta get into it. Enough about high school. JD old as hell. We get it.
Come on.
Let's get into college, man. You already talked about it. You said it that it was an underdog school.
Yeah.
You were an underdog. Clearly. Listen, I'm looking into the camera right now. I don't know how the hell that don't make sense. You got a guy from San Diego, and San Diego State doesn't give you an offer. He's the player of the year in San Diego?
Yeah, that's kind of wild.
That makes zero sense. Whatever. So you go to BC, you like it because it's an underdog school. They had all underdog players, or what was it exactly that was like, I want to go here?
I didn't know anybody there. I knew that for one, it was in the Big East, and they told me in 2 years we're going to ACC. My dad, a lot of people don't even know, is from Wilmington, North Carolina.
Really?
So he's from Wilmington. So obviously grew up a huge Tar Heel fan. So I knew I watched ACC, and back then all the big rivalry games was Duke and Carolina.
Yeah.
So I wanted to play in the ACC at one point in time. So I get Big East and ACC. My mom's a lawyer. She's like, "Hey, Jared, listen, if basketball doesn't work out, your education for BC, you'll be good for life."
Yeah.
Set.
So I think at the top 30, I'm actually nervous about the schoolwork and anything. I'm going in there like, I'm not gonna be able to, I'm not gonna be able to pass all these classes, right? So that's the first thing. And then now I see, hey, listen, we got a player here from LA, Craig Smith, and I looked at his numbers. Craig averaged 20 and 10 as a freshman.
Yeah.
Carmelo got Rookie of the Year, but they had the same numbers as Carmelo should. Mm-hmm. So I'm thinking, he's the power forward, okay? The captain's a center, Yuka Agbai, he's that one. And I'm coming in with another California kid, Sean Marshall, who I played against. I'm like, oh, Sean can hoop. Mm-hmm. So I'm thinking, all right, listen, we're not going to be good early, but I'm thinking eventually, we're going to be all right. And then a junior point guard. So did I think BC was going to be that good that fast? No. But I knew when I went on my recruiting visit, which I respect from our coaches, and I do that now, I'm honest with the players. Listen.
Yeah. Being transparent.
You're not in the rotation.
Yeah.
You need to do extra cardio. They told me, hey, Jared, listen, it's you're a starter right now. It's only for you to mess it up. So I'm looking around of, hey, listen, they want this guy to come off the bench. I'm a freshman starting in the Big East. You can't ask for anything more than that.
That's how crazy this is. We literally talked to Spence. We had Spence on the podcast, said the same exact thing. Yeah. Coaches sat him down when he was in college and said, look, Spence, you're our guy. You control this.
Yeah.
Like, we're not going to let you go out and do crazy stuff, but like, we need you to pick it up now. Yeah. Like, this is your job to lose when he was in Colorado. But it's crazy that you say that because I'm sitting here thinking like, you coming in with talent. You coming in and people don't, I hope people remember this. Tyrese Rice.
Right.
What year was he?
See, Tyrese wasn't even there yet because I'm a freshman. So Tyrese wasn't until when I was a junior. And another opportunity, one of our point guards left because he wasn't playing. We had a spot, and then Tyrese came. I actually hosted Tyrese on his visit. They used to give me the kids, so I would take them to the right parties, take them to eat, and make sure to commit. So I had Tyrese, and Tyrese just wanted to hoop. Yep. Tyrese just wanted to hoop, and so when I had Tyrese, you're like, yo, this kid can score. He doing that. Tyrese came off the bench because now our junior point guard when I came in is now the senior captain. So Tyrese is sixth man. For the first 2 years, Tyrese outscored me. So you got to think about his junior, right? So by that time, my sophomore year was really our best team. That's when we were third in the country at one point, 20-0. If you guys remember, it was Illinois with D Brown. You had Darren Williams. They was number one. And who was the other team? There was two teams.
Carolina was nice that year.
Yeah, it was like two teams that was like,
was it the 05?
05.
05. So Carolina won it that year. Just want to let that
Carolina did it. Yeah, Carolina won it
that year.
It was another team.
Wake Forest was nice.
Wake Forest was nice.
That's what Chris.
Yes. And I think me and Chris at that time played in the same. I think it was Winston-Salem, the tournament. Like I don't know if it was ACC or the regular tournament, but no. Like listen, at that time, bro, we were loaded.
ACC was loaded.
But people don't understand this though too. We also then got Sean Williams. People don't understand that Sean Williams is the all-time shot block leader at BC and only played 2 years. A kid like this is not so. He's 6'10", athletic from Houston. He's not supposed to go to BC. He's a Carolina. He was a first-round pick and got booted out of school his sophomore year. Jay Kidd, our head coach here, the New Jersey Nets drafted him. He's the all-time shot blocker. Man, he go gets at the rim. He still should be in the NBA today. He just it all didn't click for him. But so we have him as our center. We have Craig. We have me. And now we're going in. We're thinking we're going to the Final Four. We played Villanova
Yeah.
We're now playing Villanova in here, and Villanova has Lowry, Randy Foy, Alan Ray, Nardi. We playing that with, that time, and we up one with like 5 seconds left. Inbound. We look at the coach, Skinner. We call him timeout. No. Inbound play. They beat us. We lose in the Elite Eight. They get ready to go play Florida. Florida won at that time. So we're thinking that, I'm thinking, hey, we got Florida, Noah versus Williams, Al Horford versus Craig, me versus Brewer. I'm thinking this is the matchup we've been waiting for. Yeah, man. So, but BC was perfect, bro. I can't even lie. Like we had a tiny locker room, no money, couldn't go nowhere. It's cold as hell out in BC. You know what I'm saying? But it was just like us. We all had braids.
Yeah.
We always rugged. We had that. They
put a picture up of JD in college. Had the braids.
With
the whole team. Braids and headband. They coming in intimidating.
AI had it going. AI set the tone for everybody. AI had Mello, and then we had us with it. We all had the braids with the headband.
If I remember anything from that BC team, the whole team had braids and they wore the headbands. And they was running that Princeton offense too.
The flex. The flex
offense. Bro.
And no lie. I think it was my sophomore year, we led the NCAA in text. So much we led it in text. When I started looking for an agent my junior year, the agents, I was like, Jared, you got to calm down. And I stopped getting texts. I was like, Jared, your chair's getting drafted. I was like, all right, we're doing too much.
We're doing too much.
So speaking of that, though, like, I know they used to call you the junkyard dog. Like, you know what I mean? So going to Boston College, and you talked about humbling yourself at the beginning.
Yeah.
Like, knowing that you didn't go to Carolina and all that, like getting out of the mud, that was pretty much the mentality. How much did that help you?
And man, even there's never been a time except for maybe my senior year in high school and senior year in college where I was the best player.
Right.
So even when I was ACC Player of the Year, like I only had one play for me. So all mine are offense or rebounds through the offense. It wasn't like, hey, listen, we're going to go 4 down, 1-4 flat, throw the ball on the block. So mine always came off field and whatever. And so for me, it's, hey, that made me have a long career because now I get drafted. Now, all right, you're starting from the bottom here. Mm-hmm. Now I got to evolve to become a 3-point shooter. Okay, now I have to do that. Okay, now I'm playing with superstars of this team. How can I help them reach it? And so many people want to be the star. There's only 2 stars per team. The Miami was the 3rd. You got to have such a role. And it wasn't until Doc Rivers, which the one good experience I had for Doc, which was, I remember it now with the coaches, just star in your role. And people understand there's these role players that make 50, 60, 70, sometimes 100 million that aren't a star. And so you have your friends, you got your family members that see you in high school and college. Oh, Jerry, you're ACC Player of the Year. You should be starting. Like, no, that's not how it works, bro. It's not how it works. Like, no one cares about college. No one cares about that. Like, bro, listen, like this guy might be better starting because of the flow.
Yeah.
I'm a coach now. Who helps the stars? Like, and so people don't understand.
He plays better with Bron than the other guy does.
Yeah.
So that's how it's gonna work. So that's crazy. So before we get to the league and we start talking about that, what was your biggest obstacle when you got to BC? You was like, okay, this is gonna be tough to get over, but I know I can get over.
For me, it's a San Diego kid who's been living in California, going to the East Coast, and you don't know anybody. I have no family. I have no friends. I'm on a different coast. I've never seen snow. So then now you got homesick. I'm trying to
wrong place
academic.
To go,
I'm over here going from Chucks to Timberlands.
Real quick.
Bro, listen, it was October and it snowed. It snowed on Halloween. I'm like, yo, I didn't see it. And so for me, it's, hey, listen, okay, you're in a place you don't know. If you're gonna make it, this is how you're gonna have to make it. And so, and that time, luckily I had 2 other players from California, Craig and Sean, helping you out. And Stevie Haley was a family that was from Boston at the time, took me in. His mom used to braid my hair and stuff like that. So you had to find some sort of culture and people who you were with. And even now, when I go to Boston now, I get more love from BC than I do San Diego, where I'm from. Like people, how is in Boston, they still remember Jared Dudley, Boston College. They don't think of Phoenix Suns. They don't think of Boston College. And so to me, it's, you had an imprint and a legacy on something. If people are thinking of Boston College, bro. You think of Flutie, basketball. You think of our era. We have the most wins in my 4 years than any eras have had of BC.
That's facts. That's facts. One more thing. When did it click for you in college? Because like you said, you were underdog. What was it? What year and what time do you remember right now? I know it was a while ago, but like there was like, I can really do this and take this to the league.
It was my sophomore year. And we were number 3 team in the country. I was first team all Big East. It was before we were going to the ACC. And I'm thinking, listen.
Was it a game?
That's a great question. I mean, I think my highest score game is against Villanova. I had 37. But my always thing is not necessarily a game. It's more thing is if I can be a first team, and arguably at that time it's ACC and Big East. First team of conference, I'm an NBA player.
Oh, yeah.
So that's why in my mind I'm thinking now I'm a sophomore. Now I'm getting ready to go to ACC, and now I get to see it. Now this is considered the best conference.
Yeah.
And then now by the time I leave, a kid from San Diego is ACC Player of the Year.
Yeah.
And predominantly when you have the Carolina, the Dukes,
yeah.
Wake at one point in time, NC State with Julius Hodge.
Yeah.
There's so many different names. You had at this time the Golden Boy in Hansborough, who was All-American 4 years. The people I had to beat out at that time, it just shows you, like, listen, anything is possible. It might take you a different route. Everyone's race you got to run. But eventually at that time, they can't keep denying you until if you keep putting that work. At that time, I had to do so much where, hey, listen, if they didn't do it, they would just look crazy.
Yeah,
No, that's
a fact.
Yeah,
that's a fact.
That's facts.
So you get to BC, you pretty much get everything except championship.
Right.
You got all the individual awards, but what people don't understand is like you just focus on winning.
For sure.
You just focus on winning.
Always been
Everything
a
else
team
took
player.
care of itself.
Yeah.
Like I said, no plays for me. It's all about winning. It's a mentality. It's about extra, making the right reads, making the right passes, being a good person, being a good dude. My mom wasn't a basketball scholar out there, but she's like, hey, a best player is one that listens.
Yep.
And I've always been a person that's, you always give the coach, even if you feel like you know more than the coach, because some players do, you give them respect to listen, go do what they ask, and then after that, then let's make the adjustment.
Exactly.
Being coachable.
Exactly.
Being coachable.
All right, so you go all 4 years to BC.
All four.
You do all 4. Are you the same player if you don't go all 4?
I wanted to leave after my junior year. Remember the Villanova one.
Yeah.
But at this time, you had to have the hype of being a Final Four type one to get it. For me, I don't think I would have been because I had to be a first round pick. Because when you're a first round pick, you get the guaranteed money that first 3 years, 4 and 5.
Yeah.
If I leave my junior, I might be second round. And that's what these kids are messing up on.
Yeah.
Is your agent, I had an agent or what agent I was talking to at that time, you're not guaranteed. Why would I take that risk? And for me, and a lot of kids take that risk and then you're out.
Yeah.
And then now I might be playing in freaking Shanghai.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that. I didn't want to do that. But now
Yeah.
I get to go to do my 4 years. I even had to go to, in Orlando, I had to go to pre-draft. So I'm an ACC Player of the Year and still not a even my agent said not guaranteed first round, you're borderline. So now I'm in Orlando. When Kevin Durant did the bench and remember the big thing, he couldn't bench press.
Yeah.
I'm in there playing. He's Big East. I mean, he's Big Ten Player of the Year. I'm ACC Player of the Year, and I'm playing against guys that might not even get drafted.
Yeah.
So I still, once I kill 2 or 3 days, now I shut it down.
You shut it down.
Okay, now I have to, and still, man, it took it. Well, I did 24 workouts. I was a 22nd pick to the Charlotte Bobcats at that time. Now it's the Charlotte Hornets with Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Dang.
Okay. So talk about draft night. How was that? Where were you and how
San Diego, I threw a party. A whole city, I threw a party in San Diego. Loving it downtown, Club Below. It's changed its name now.
Yeah.
I didn't, at this time, I don't even know. You know, people get the call. I didn't get a call. So I'm in there. I'm at there, and I'm here. And here's a funny little story was the 18th pick for the Lakers was Javaris Crittenton, right?
Yeah.
And how they announced it with the 18th pick, the Los Angeles select Javaris. I think his name is Jared. I'm going with Kobe. I'm there. I'm like, he pump faked me. I'm like, oh. But no, it worked out, man. I always wanted to play for the Tar Heels. Going to play for, it was basically the Tar Heels pro team.
Yeah,
it was
literally.
Sean May,
Oh my
Raymond
God,
Felton,
Raymond Felton.
Jordan's the president.
got all the
They
Carolina
got
Hey, listen.
everyone in there, bro. Listen. So that's basically what I had.
That was
Shoot,
crazy.
Jeff McGinnis.
Yes.
What's
He's on that team?
Yes, touche. Hey, what's the come on now? I forget his name. He's assistant coach from Charlotte. He was also assistant coach for the Tar Heels, one of the best point guards of all time. I'm pissed I don't know his name.
Phil Ford.
Phil Ford. Phil
Phil
Ford's the
Ford.
assistant when I'm there. So you got to think about it. I'm thinking,
Mitch Kupchak probably in there somewhere.
Man.
yes. Yeah, man.
Hey.
So that's how it was. Phil Ford was the assistant coach. And so I'm getting there. It's like that. It's a big Tar Heel fans coming in, and Michael Jordan's the president. Quick little story about the Jordan thing. My senior year at BC, Jordan had the camp in Santa Barbara. The Jordan thing at this time, he plays. I actually play on Jordan's team. I'm on Jordan's team. Is by far the best shooting night I ever had in my life. I didn't miss a shot the whole gym. By the end of the time, Jordan's passing me the ball. Go kill him.
Yeah.
I'm in there killing, not missing every shot. It's me and him going. That's the clip you guys see against OJ Mayo and Big Baby.
Yeah.
He tells OJ, you might be number one in high school. I'm number one in the world. It's that same, I'm on his team, that whole same clip.
Nuts.
And I remember you get to have Jordan sign one thing, and people are out there in the back getting 2,000-3,000 to have, Jordan sign this autograph picture. And so I have Jordan sign it, and he's like, hey man, I seen your game. I seen you develop. And go figure. Now I'm at BC. I played my senior year, and now he's the one that drafts me.
That's
So
crazy.
it goes full circle,
Yeah,
man.
full circle right there.
Full circle.
Yeah.
So this is crazy. So you played on how many teams?
7 total.
7 total teams.
7 total.
You started off in Charlotte.
Start off in Charlotte.
So your Charlotte team, y'all were
Bad. We were
Bad.
very bad. We were young. One of the youngest team, Adam Morrison, Gerald Wallace, Felton,
Yeah.
young Sean May,
Sean May,
Emeka
yeah.
Okafor was a number 2 pick. Get traded my second year to the Suns. And at this time, Steve Nash is known for getting everybody paid. He's getting everybody money. And so I'm going back to the West Coast, Phoenix, Charlotte. We didn't sell out. I go there. It's so packed that you're sweating layup lines, which was such a different one. I think I'm back in college now, back in high school. And that right there, it's the Suns. My son's years, I think I played 4 or 5 straight years. It made me have longevity.
Yeah.
Nash is older, Grant Hill. I'm in there learning about nutrition, taking care of your body, ice. We're doing IVs back then. We're doing cryo chamber. Back then, they didn't even have that. We're going off site to get this with Nash. I'm going to his house. He comes there with the IV and the acupuncture. I'm thinking Michael Jackson just died. I'm thinking also Michael Jackson stuff right here. I'm like, yo,
what's happening?
is this legal?
Yeah, you
Can we
good?
do this?
Bro, it
What
was
are we
a
talking
It was
about?
a whole nother. Shaq is there. I'm over there. I'm getting Shaq. It's not what LA's Roscoe's and Phoenix's Lolo's Chicken and Waffle before every road
Yeah,
trip.
Lolo's, yep.
I'm taking care of Shaq and stuff like that. It was like by far the best experience. I became a pro. I went from a 18-point 3-point shooter to 47. I think it was my 4th or 5th year with Nash, and that's when I get paid my first year. And then now I'm a 3-and-D guy, and now I'm solidified. Now it's all about just your health and wealth, and I'm gonna play minimum 10 years now.
Yeah. What was the rough part about Charlotte in your mindset? Like, was it just because everybody was young and you couldn't really learn off anybody else, or was it?
Yeah, we had a rookie coach.
The whole team.
Yeah, we had a
The whole
rookie
team.
coach.
And Charlotte was
Everybody's
new,
young,
too.
huh?
The whole team was new.
Whole team is young.
Yeah.
Derek Anderson was the vet at this time. Jordan had him in the suit just to be able to like, hey guys, don't be wild. At this time, some people aren't even old enough to drink. They going back and playing. We're playing video games.
Yeah.
Like we're not even going. No, we don't go. We're not going to the club. We're going to play Fortnite. We're going to play. It's Fortnite. Back then it was Call of Duty. That's how it was. Like that was the games that we was playing back then. And so you had that. I feel like I'm still in college still.
Yeah.
It's low key still in college. And now when I get to Phoenix, it's like I got old heads now.
Yeah.
It's Shaq.
They
It's
about winning. They
about winning.
hooping.
They got accolades, but they're older. They got wife and kids.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that. You come to the game, the car lot, the Ferraris.
Yeah.
You got
They be
Shaq
like,
with the
oh, wait,
motorcycles
I
and
need this.
Amari with the custom Lambo
Yes,
for his
yes.
size, bro. Like I'm on a whole. I'm like, okay, this is the NBA. Now I'm in the NBA.
Now you're in the league.
Now I'm really seeing of what different franchises, and I'm still cool with Nash and Grant Hill to this day, and it's because of them that I played 14 years.
That's dope.
Yeah, that's a
That's
blessing
dope.
right
Yeah.
there. That's definitely a blessing.
What was your welcome to NBA moment?
My welcome, it's verse, Charlotte, my second year. You don't even remember, I don't know if you remember, Sean Williams, but not Boston College. He went to Memphis,
Yes.
first
I
round
remember
pick.
Yes.
I went to take a charge. It's like he jumped 1 step from the free throw line and he dunked on me. And the coach subbed me out.
Right
away.
after?
Right after. It was like and one. Some of them were like, they were like dapping up, sat down. It's crazy. It's on YouTube. Back then, it's like it's so old. No HD, but it was there. It was nasty. That was my welcome.
So everybody can go ahead and lie and say, "Oh, I was born. I was ready for this." You're nervous when you first get to the league.
Man,
You're beyond nervous.
Didn't
When
play-
was it that it slowed down for you?
it's crazy because I played off and on my rookie year. Second year I played, but I got traded to Phoenix. I didn't really play my second year when I got traded to Phoenix. It wasn't until my third year. Now
Wow.
and now I'm shooting the 47% from
Yep.
three. It's like, hey, Jared, all I'm doing is catching, shooting threes and playing defense.
Mhm.
I just I started slow and then build my career out. Let's do one dribble pull-ups. All I did was shoot threes and that one, it made it easy because it was Nash. You don't have it, throw it back. Sit there, do what you can do. Now my fourth year, We lose Shaq. Amari, now I get to put the ball down a little bit more.
Yeah.
Hey, now Nash leaves. Now I'm the first or second
But
option.
Shaq was probably in the paint. You can't really get there.
Yeah.
He controlling all that.
Yeah, I want the ball. You ain't gonna pass the ball to Shaq? Yeah, I'm passing the ball. Man, you kidding me?
You got it.
And he was
Come
an
on,
all-star
man. That's
that
what he
year.
called Chris Bosh, RuPaul. He over there.
Yeah,
Oh, man, I'm
yeah.
giving him the ball every time.
So you said Charlotte 2, Phoenix was, you had 4 straight years in Phoenix?
4 straight years.
4 straight years in Phoenix. Which year did you feel like in that Phoenix run that you had a chance to win it?
It was 2010. The Lakers won it. We just talked about it
Yep,
beforehand.
yep.
Like
Mhm.
at that time, we got over the Spurs hurdle that they had. Nash crying in the locker room. We sweep the Spurs. Think about that. This is Ginobili, Parker,
Yeah.
Duncan. We swept them.
Yeah.
That's when Goran Dragic had the 20 in the quarter and the
Yeah,
third.
yeah.
Bro, like Popovich, it's how you could tell that rivalry was so intense. Popovich came over and greeted Steve because he finally beat him.
Yeah,
Steve's in tears at that time. We go back, thousands of people outside. This is for a second round.
second round.
That's crazy.
Second round, you thought we won the championship because it was they hated
the
the Spurs so
Spurs,
much.
yeah.
And then you got the Lakers. You have the Kobe, Lamar, World Peace, Artest at the time, Gasol. They beat us the first 2 games. We go home, beat them the first 2 games. Now it's, game 5, whoever wins this one
Whoever
usually wins the
yeah,
series.
yeah.
We're in LA, we up. And it's the infamous Kobe for the game winner, air balls. Artest catches it, lays it up. And then when you lose a game like that, when you're I shouldn't say supposed to, that you could win,
Yeah.
it deflates you. And then they handle business in game 6. But that was the year I thought if we would have beat them, would have played Boston.
Mhm.
We beat Boston 2 times in regular season, which doesn't mean anything, but we just matched up well.
Yeah, you matched
so
up
I
well.
thought we had a chance to
For
win
sure,
that
for
one.
sure. It's all
Yeah.
for sure matchups.
Mhm.
So we're gonna pull up the clip. Kobe hit this
2010.
unbelievable shot.
So
rest
many.
in peace.
2010. Kobe was
Unbelievable
ridiculous.
shot.
Yeah.
Right nipple.
Baseline, 6
Baseline
hands.
fade. JD's on there.
Me,
JD Grant. whole
Channing
team.
Frye.
Yeah.
6 hands in his face.
Pull up the clip. I
Yeah.
mean, it was the game
It's
where
crazy.
he hit Alvin Gentry
On
on
the
the
butt.
butt.
On the butt,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's crazy, bro.
It's crazy.
He was a part. I mean, the fact he was a part of all that is just
That's
All them buckets.
man.
like,
What
crazy. Like, you play with Shaq, you play with Stoudemire, you play with Steve, you play with Grant.
Mhm.
Grant was older then?
Grant was older.
He wasn't that old,
36. Yeah, they're older. Yeah, they all were older. Yeah, they all were older. 36. But Grant was our fastest player on our team. He was like the Obama called the president and how he was super proper. How it was. He was telling me about the Fila deals. He gets the $75 million from Fila coming out, like how it hurts his feet and how he had the problems.
Yeah.
And there's so many different stories of Shaq and his music. He bringing the piano and headsets and making beats on the plane. And then you go to that, those guys leave, everyone dispersed, and then now I get traded to the Clippers, and now it's Lob City.
Now it's Lob City.
Now it's Lob City,
Now we
and
going
now
to
in
the
my
Clips.
mind, I'm
Yep.
thinking now, hey, listen, the LA Clippers is like San Diego Clippers. So now it's like I'm going home.
Yeah.
So
You're
to
the
be
great.
honest with you, I'm more excited to go to the Clippers than I was the Suns. Because in a way, now I've already been paid. Now it's CP and Blake.
Mhm.
And now I'm going into that lane like, oh, listen, this team got to win the championship. And then on this one, this is probably my most disappointing time is because now it's the first time now I'm dealing with an injury in my life where I can't perform.
Mhm.
And now you know
What
the
was that?
player that you are with that one. So now I'm dealing with a knee injury, and so I'm trying to get MRIs. I'm over here doing with different medical stuff, and so now I can't even move. I'm out there and I'm playing terrible.
Really?
No, oh man, it's terrible. The team, we're good, but we're not meshing the way we need to mesh. They, and now Doc's coming over. Doc's doing a good job, and this is the one where we have OKC, and we should beat OKC. We have OKC. We up like 6 or 7 with a minute to go. If you look at those, you go to those clips. We have them,
Yeah.
and that's the year we beat the Warriors in Game 7 when Curry is now becoming Curry.
He about to be
Because at
Curry.
this time, CP's the
He was
best
Curry
point
the next
guard,
year.
and now Curry's now, all right, I'm on
Yeah,
you now.
yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm here
But
now.
CP's still the best point guard
Yeah,
this
yeah.
time right now.
Yeah,
And so we beat them, and then Mark Jackson, he gets fired.
And then that's when
Yeah.
Steve goes.
Steve goes
And
there,
that's when
and
the
then
Warriors
now,
dynasty
yes, and
begins.
then now that's
Yeah.
when I leave. I'm only there 1 year with the Clippers, and to be honest with you,
That was
it's
your most disappointing year.
most disappointing year, and that is all on me. To be honest with you, it was nothing that is to my fault, but it was just an injury habit. And come to find out, once I do the MRI, and I eventually after the season, now I have a fracture on my knee. which I'm playing with, which I know something's up. I'm asking for the MRI. We have all that stuff. And now, but the crazy thing about it, the best thing was me getting traded because now I go to Milwaukee, where back then, when they trade you to Milwaukee, your career's over. It was one of those, Milwaukee's out of sight, out of mind. They were worse than the Sixers, and the Sixers were trying to tank. So this tells you how Milwaukee was at that time. But me going down to Milwaukee, it's like, hey, listen, now I'm the oldest. I go from a vet team of the Clippers. Now I'm 30 years old and I'm the oldest.
And they need a vet. They need somebody. Yeah. And to put this out there, young Giannis.
Young Giannis. I'm starting over Giannis. J Kidd, who I have now here, who one of the reasons why I'm here on the coaching staff is because I had him there. I'm now in there. We have the third best turnaround from most wins in a year. So whatever they had with their 15 wins, we go from 15 to 38. It's the third biggest gap of wins exceeding that year. We're the 7th seed, one of the youngest teams in the NBA. I'm starting over Giannis probably the first 10 games, 12 games. And at this time, I'm seeing, hey, listen, I'm starting to slow down a little bit. Giannis is like, yo, this is a kid where we need to get, like, where we're trying to go, we need him. I go in the office to J Kidd. You can ask J Kidd, say, listen, you need to start Giannis. They start Giannis. I go to the bench, 6th, 7th, 8th man, depending on who comes out the game. We take off. Jabari tears his ACL.
And Jabari was, he damn near should have been all-star that year.
Bro. And this is what saved me. This is why I told you the Clipper trade. This is why it's the biggest thing. Because for one, now I'm getting, hey, I'm a vet that can play on young teams. Because now when you take a young team and they win, how you win it? Oh, we have a good veteran presence. Now I can play on a vet, I can play on an older team, and now I can play on a young team. And then now I see Draymond being small ball 4, and I'm saying, like, hold on. I go, J Kidd, hey, can I play the 4? So then now when Jabari tears his knee, I can play the 4, and now my 3 now is coming back because now I'm a little bit too slow to play the 3, and now the 4, I'm fast and athletic compared to these 4s because they're not used to the pick and pops now.
Smarter.
And now I'm smarter, second side, doing pick and rolls. And so then now that helps me. We get to the playoffs going against D Rose and the Bulls when they have Jimmy. Noah. And you remember the pass I throw inbound over Derrick Rose hand, the game winner against them.
Play the clip,
the inbound pass that I throw. We beat them, go back to Chicago losing 6. And then from there, J Kidd and that organization do me a favor, trade me to Washington because now Paul Pierce goes to the Clippers from Washington. And they need a power forward. And so they basically gave me for nothing. So shout out to the Bucks hooking me up, letting me go for a trade, and basically got nothing back from it. And
you knew Giannis was going to be great.
I didn't know he was going to be this good. I knew he had all-star potential. I mean, when he called out, you got to look at the clip, he called out, I think it was Carmelo, we were in London, about wanting to guard him, and he goes at him, he holds his own. Any person that's crazy enough to call out a superstar at that time and hold your own, and you have the tools, you're going to make it. I think he's going to be this MVP candidate? No, I didn't. And I think he's going to be an all-star for sure.
Got you.
That's crazy.
So you get traded from Milwaukee, which that team was really good. Like,
really good.
I mean, you had Jabari and Giannis on the same team. When people don't realize, before Jabari had that injury,
Jabari was
cold. And not even that.
He was killing.
People don't understand. Brandon Knight almost made the All-Star team. Brandon Knight was killing. Brandon Knight was killing. He was just scoring. We were like the 3rd best defensive team. It was John Henson, you know, your Carolina boy. We're tall, athletic. We have Henson. We have Giannis, Jabari before he gets hurt.
Who's your wings?
OJ Mayo, when OJ Mayo was getting buckets. Zaza's another vet that we have. Jared Bayless, a guard. We have Brendan Knight, and then they trade Brendan Knight for, what's his name? Marcus Carter-Williams. And they're thinking Marcus Carter-Williams, Rookie of the Year. J Kidd likes big guards. It didn't really have the same effect on it as how he had it. But no, but the Clipper trade gets me to Milwaukee to show that I can be a veteran. And then Milwaukee gets me now to Washington with John Wall and Bradley Beal to help me now prolong my career.
Yeah, playing with John, playing with that team. Y'all made the playoffs that year.
We missed it by 1 game. Bradley Beal had the stress fracture. I think missed out of like 82, missed like 50, 60 games. But to this one, I hear a lot of comments about John. I'll never say anything bad about John. John, when it comes to the teammates, one of the best teammates I ever had. So unselfish. At this time, it's the Ben Simmons stat now, the most corner threes assisted. He was going at 100 miles an hour, just get to the corner.
He gonna find
get to the trailer. He always looked out for me, took care of teammate on the road, paying for meals. I see him get watches when I wasn't wasn't there for the watch. But then also, I owe John something. Like I even see John this summertime now. I'm a coach. Like, listen, like, and to see his story about him wanting to possibly commit suicide, him coming back, I'm happy to see him on the Clippers.
For sure.
He's in shape, ready to go. But for John Wall, I wouldn't have gotten paid the money I wasn't for Steve.
We're going to set
John
the record
Wall.
straight on here. John Wall is a winner.
Oh,
he does
guys.
John is not a selfish player whatsoever.
Thanks.
He goes into every game and tries to win the game. That's what makes him great.
I mean, dog,
just because he's talented.
After the Gilbert Arenas guns and they boot everyone out, he takes that team to the playoffs.
Yeah.
Remember, if you remember the Paul Pierce series, yes, Paul Pierce did the bank shot. They beat Toronto.
Yeah.
They beat Atlanta. How he dunking on, like he was at an all-time high. And to be honest with you, if you look at the team, Bradley Beal wasn't Bradley Beal back then.
No.
Right.
Bradley Beal now. So Bradley Beal was, at that time, we didn't want him to come off pick and rolls at the time. We wanted him to do get games, catch and shoot at a time. And now you see what's Bradley Beal. Like, oh, that boy's been in the gym.
Yeah.
It was Gortat, the Seals. It was John Wall with the CP Nash. The ball's in your hand. You got to make every read.
Yeah.
That's how it was.
You're making the whole engine go. Yeah, you're making the car go.
For sure.
And that's crazy. So you just think about, we done talked about, you didn't play with Steve at this point. You didn't play with the whole Carolina team pretty much.
Pretty much.
For sure.
You play with Shaq. You play with Grant Hill.
Maury.
You play with Jabbar. You play with Giannis. You play with John Wall. You play with Bradley Beal. We play with Gortat. And I'll tell you this right now. Gortat was really good in Washington.
Yeah, he was.
Really good in Washington.
I mean, his screening, we use it. His
Yeah, the
screening he
Gortat
does now.
screen.
We talk about that
we
now
talk
in the
about
NBA.
every team
It's
talks
very
about that.
rare. Like people won't even understand that. Gortat, well, his screening, people they teach his screening now for bigs now. And Gortat was good. DC, I loved it family-wise of being how the culture, and it's the one place you go into Starbucks or Mastro's, it's all black people working. So from a culture-wise of going to different Phoenix, now I'm going to DC and I'm seeing Chocolate City and now open myself up. My kids are, oh, hey, listen, this is another way of living. So that people understand that you're moving from coaching, you're also moving city to city of seeing families. And that was a cool thing about people say you're a journeyman. I actually loved it.
Yeah.
I know all these different cities.
For sure.
Listen, for real with you, to be real with you.
You're good in every city. So we're on, you go from Washington, you go back to Phoenix.
Now it's where John gets me paid. I go back to Phoenix because of my
What'd you
ties
shoot
with
in
Phoenix. Watch 43.
43.
I was like 6th or 7th in the NBA. But because I had the Milwaukee of being a vet on a young team, now Phoenix wants me to be that vet.
And that was a young team.
Bender was the 5th or 4th pick in the draft. Marquise Chris was the 9th or 10th pick in the draft. They traded for him. Booker's been 1 year. Bledsoe, he's becoming a vet. He's like that 6th, 7th year becoming a vet. Tyler Eulis. It was basically, I played for the Carolina team. Now I'm playing for the Kentucky team. I got the Kentucky Wildcats. You have that. And at this time, it's like, hey, look, Jared, PJ Tucker's there, Tyson Chandler, who we have here in Dallas. Hey, Jared, be a vet. Make sure they're pros. So I get in there. I'm starting my first year up to about December. And then they come to me at December. Jared, you're not going to play anymore.
Tell you straight up.
Straight up. Right before starting lineup, you're done now. I'm like,
before starting
lineup. Earl Watson comes to me. I'm like, all right, cool. So I'm done. And everyone's asking me what's going on. I said, they said I'm done. So at this time, now I got to be a vet and help them be a professional. But it's tough now because they fired Earl. Different coaching. They're telling these guys, the new NBA starting, shoot all these threes. They're 19, 20-year-old kids, can't shoot yet.
Right, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Shooting horrible shots.
Shooting horrible shots. We're getting our head cracked by 30. Teams are talking trash, doing podcasts about it. I got more texts and fines at 25,000 over here just decking people. I'm frustrated.
Oh my God.
I'm over here getting hot. Bled's asked, I don't want to be here. They trade Bled in Milwaukee. You know what I'm saying? There's so much going on here. But for me, it was like full circle. I went back to Phoenix. Phoenix is a home. I buy my home. My kids are having there. I got my family able to get there. So I'm even content and happy knowing the way, hey, listen, Richard Jefferson is with Braun and the Cavs. Like, hey, listen, you're going to get your chance again. Stay in shape. You'll eventually be traded. I had a 3-year deal. So you got to think 2 months in, you're done.
And you got to Phoenix. What year was this?
This is year 10 now.
So
year 9, year 10, something like that. Because I'm there 3 years. I'm there 2 years. And then my last year of my deal, I now get traded to Brooklyn.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm like year 9. I'm like year 9. Like, I can still play. There's certain times when you couldn't still play. I couldn't really play in LA. And in Brooklyn, it was my last good year.
But think about this. If you played those years that they was like, okay, we shutting you down, you still think you could have kept playing?
Well, yeah, because the difference is when I get to LA, when you're in the back in your career, people don't understand. It's like, hey, why is Jared Dudley playing? Why is he on the roster? Because now I have so much, I have so much in the game, skin in the game of vet team, young team. So then now, how I sold myself, we'll get to that story. How I sold myself to LA of why you need me.
Yeah.
And it's not even as a player.
Oh.
It's loads off bro.
You
Certain stuff
yeah.
you gotta. But I'm selling myself to Rich Paul. I'm selling myself to agent. I'm selling myself to the Lakers.
Yeah.
And I'm over here trying to get bronze numbers. So like it's a little bit different when you're when it's a superstar. You got to go to the superstar first.
For sure.
Especially someone like Braun and how much clout he has. Now he might say okay, but then now I gotta go to your friend. What your friend really think? Because I might not want to answer your phone call, but if you ask my boy, he'll tell you why I'm not answering my phone call. Right? There's too many people. So, but yeah, no, I'm with Phoenix. Now I go to Brooklyn, and once I get to Brooklyn, now it's like, hey, listen, we want you to play.
Mm-hmm.
I get in tip top shape. I'm in tip-top shape when I get there. I'm playing. I'm at a high level. And then now you see the whole Ben Simmons thing in the playoffs where you get it where, hey, listen, now it's...
Play the clip.
But now I'm getting back in. Now you got to think if people understand. Now I'm getting back. I'm on now another young team.
Yeah.
So if I don't get that Clipper trade to show what I can do in Milwaukee and show, hey, listen, now I'm on a young team. I can help improve these guys and we can win. That's how I get to Phoenix. And now I get to show it in Brooklyn. And now I have guys in Brooklyn. They're young, but they can play.
Exactly.
D'Lo can play. Spencer can
Harris,
play. Karras. Look at all these guys. Jared Allen, Joe Harris. All these guys have been paid 60, 70, 80 million. And I have them when they ain't paid yet.
Yeah.
They grinding right now. So Brooklyn to me was my most enjoyable because overall they got me dancing on the sideline messing with you. Play the clip.
Play the clip.
On Thanksgiving it comes on.
Yes.
I'm over here hanging out with them. I'm in New York City. At this time, the team wants you to live in Brooklyn. I'm the only player living in the city.
Yes.
I'm over having a great time, family. We out doing different restaurants, and we winning.
Mm-hmm.
We make it to the playoffs, and now we have Philly. We beat Philly game one.
Game one. We was...
Bruh,
We
and we should have won the game. I get thrown out.
yes.
We win the whole game.
Yes. Hey,
We
we
were-
clip, JD. Ben Simmons talking junk. JD's like, okay, I got you. Hits the three.
Yes.
Goes in, hit him with that right there. They talk about let's go.
And now he's on Brooklyn. And now he's on Brooklyn.
He was on Brooklyn.
That's it works out. It definitely works out. No, it definitely
Did you
works
know,
out.
we're going to go back just for
Yeah.
a second. Did you know Book was going to be this?
For sure, but you would know Book right away. The difference between Book and Giannis.
I know Book.
Giannis was trying to, he didn't have the coordination. Book always had the coordination.
Giannis was goofy. Right?
Book was built our best scorer when we got there.
Yes.
The thing about Book is we got to change your habits now.
Yeah.
Listen here, if you look at Book's body now, Book like he's vegan right now. You
Yes.
see Book, we can see his cheekbones.
Yeah.
Book is lean, chiseled, all that. This is what he wasn't. He's still probably eating, lows and messing around. He could drop 20 and do that. And now he's so dedicated. But Book's always been a bucket. He's always been a 3-level post, mid-range.
Mm-hmm.
The thing about Book, what people don't understand, his confidence is crazy.
Unreal.
His confidence is like he feels like he's better than you.
Yeah.
We've had discussions. I'm like, Book, you're not better than him. Jared, you're crazy.
Yeah.
I'm better than him. We had
kill
that.
him.
And
Yeah.
so how he has that, so it's no shock what Book is. Where I was just telling those guys, what they teaching you, this ain't the NBA guys. This ain't the real NBA Phoenix. This is bad habits.
And it had to be
y'all
tough
doing.
for you because you've been in so many teams and so many situations. When they come there teaching bad habits and you like, guys, this ain't.
Yeah.
But then you still got, like you said, you still got to listen to the coaches. You don't want to disrespect the coaches.
Yeah.
This to
So
me
you
was-
so how did you go about that and like telling them like, look, this ain't really how you need to play if you want
on
to
the
be
bus, airplanes, and I was just basically letting them know. A lot of those guys are in the NBA because of that. But at that time, that told me about the business.
Yeah.
They didn't mind losing, which is understandable. They get the picks, and now you see them with the 8, and they lost all those years to be able to get Bridges, because before with Bridges, it was another player they drafted in the top 10 to trade to Philly to get Bridges. So it was so many years, and I understand that strategy, but overall I think there's a better way of habits to be able to teach. And so it ended up happening that way, but I mean, listen, I had a chance to be able to put my imprint on Book, teach him the Boue race. He's over there, and now the money he took and help him being a pro. And so those guys, like, there's not a player that I haven't played, especially star player, that I don't have somewhat of a relationship. Even the star players of, like, hey, somewhat helping them or them helping me and having some sort of bond of like, listen, it's a respect. And for the Clippers, CP. I mean, I called CP during the playoffs to help for a scout for Utah.
Yeah.
You can't do that if it's not a player. I can't, if I don't play with him, hey, listen, how to guard Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah.
He knows Donovan.
Yeah, exactly.
What did you do against him?
Exactly.
So now when I'm a coach and I'm taking now a Hall of Fame point guard's read on how it is, it's a whole different perspective.
Yeah.
Because you look at it as a coach's mind, how's a player? Oh, hey, listen, he always wants to get back to that right hand. He does the sweep up.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
goes through his legs when he goes through 2 pick and roll. And now I'm watching, I'm like, oh shoot, I might not have seen it.
You didn't
Yeah,
see it.
You might
did.
not have.
You get
And so that's what those players, and that's why as a coaches, you can look through it 2 or 3 times. That's why as a player coach, I see the game different than our assistants.
Yeah.
And so that's why you got to have both.
You gotta have both.
Yeah.
You gotta have both. So you get to Brooklyn.
Yep.
You get to a young team.
Mm-hmm.
We get D'Lo. We get him in an All-Star year. This is my rookie year.
Love it.
Best vet I ever had for sure. But
Love
D'Lo goes All-Star, goes nuts
Yeah,
that
he went
year.
crazy
We
that
got
year.
Spence, who damn near
Balling.
Yeah.
balling.
Karras would have been an all-star.
Karras should have been an All-Star.
If he didn't get,
If he didn't get
hurt.
He was gonna be an All-Star. We're 7th seed. Were you shocked?
I was shocked that we made the playoffs. I didn't think that was a playoff team. when I first
No,
got
for
there.
sure.
Yeah, I didn't think it was a playoff
For sure.
team. And getting there, I love Kenny Atkinson, which he'll be a future head coach. I mean, he's already been a head coach.
Yeah.
He turned down the Charlotte one. He's going to get a head coaching job. He embraced what the city was. He was fiery, got after us his assistant coaches, let me be able to do player-only film sessions
Facts.
at that time.
Facts.
I just love his mannerisms and how he coached. And once I got there, but I would see it, so he gave everyone opportunities. People, I was playing, and then I was out of the rotation before the playoffs, and then I got back in. Like, he gave players opportunity to stay ready.
I was a two-way. He gave me opportunity.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah,
And so I respect Kenny and
respect
what he
him
did,
a
and
lot.
I was shocked. But that team, looking back on it, like, that was a good-ass team.
Yes.
All those guys, Jared Allen's made All-Star last year.
Yes.
Karras has done what he's done. Joe Harris, before he got hurt, there's a lot of people.
I've
Spencer,
said it
Come
already.
on.
Everybody on that team got paid.
for sure.
Yeah.
Like
That's how you get.
that's how.
Listen,
Yeah.
that's why Kyrie and Kevin Durant goes there, because you have those pieces to be able to trade. That's why they didn't go to the Knicks.
Yes.
It wasn't because they liked Brooklyn better. It's the pieces you could trade to go get you a
Exactly.
Harden
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
now be a Ben Simmons. You couldn't get that with the Knicks.
Mhm.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You couldn't get that. So
And they saw the type of
but no,
vibe
Brooklyn,
they had
yeah.
there too.
And Brooklyn was a great situation for me, and I could have even gone back with Kyrie and KD.
Yeah.
I just chose the Lakers.
Yeah. Let's get into it.
Yeah.
You talked about it. You touched on it a little bit. I remember I was talking to you about it. I'm like JD, because I'm going back to Brooklyn with
Right.
KD and Kai. I'm like,
Right.
listen, we need JD back. We need that vet presence back. What was it? What went into that last? You played 2 years after
Yeah.
that year. What went into the last 2 years of?
I've
being
always
in
wanted to
LA?
play with Braun.
Mhm.
And like being a Carolina fan growing up, being from San Diego, you're a Laker fan.
Like,
Yeah.
So to be able to have that,
Mhm.
and now I'm thinking, I got maybe 1, 2, 3 years max left.
yeah,
I got to think bigger than just basketball.
facts.
I do want to win a championship, but the Laker brand and
Mhm.
Braun and connection wise that you potentially have of people you're going to meet in LA and life after basketball. And
Mhm.
what? Go figure, I was right. I went there. My assistant coach is now the head coach here, and now I'm front of the bench
Yeah.
in my first season. So
Right.
my mindset was right, thinking that
Yeah.
I just didn't know it
Yeah.
was going to be coaching.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was going to be coaching, a GM. I wanted to win a championship. We won a championship. But
Yeah.
my thinking was, hey, listen, play with Braun, play with LA. And when I retire, I want to retire in California. I'm a Cali kid.
Yeah.
So then now, once you play for a Laker, like, listen, maybe the Knicks, if you go to LA, if I go to LA right now,
Mhm.
they always remember, people say, what's up? The security guard when I walk in, even now, what's up, champ? The security guard wears the red vest, even now when
Yeah.
I walk in. And I didn't even technically contribute on the court. But if you ask all those players and people in that faculty, they don't know, but they know the sessions I had with Braun in the bubble in the film. Braun,
Sure.
you fucking up.
For sure.
You messing up, Braun.
And what came to? Bron doesn't know you. He knows.
He don't know me at all.
He don't know
Yeah.
you.
No, just
Right.
You know what
as
I'm
a
saying?
plane.
So how did that relationship build? As far as like, how did you gain that respect for him? Like, which is it's really not like
Yeah.
I know it's not that hard because when you talk basketball and you talk about the game,
Yeah.
you're like, oh, JD know what the hell he talking
Yeah.
about. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
So
yeah.
like, was it just that, or was it like a long time over the period of time? He's just like, okay,
Yep.
we need this voice.
He was doing Space Jam and the 6 a.m. workouts that we
Yep.
went to go there. I'm doing that. I'm playing. And at this time they don't even know my personality. I'm quiet.
yeah,
I'm just like, hey, on the court, hey, strictly business, stay in shape, let's go. And then we go to Vegas. Braun has the a little before camp workouts. I'm just going to dinner. We're not even hanging out.
Yeah.
It wasn't until we're on the road and you start the gambling table.
yeah.
And you get on the gambling table, you start talking the trash, you start
Yeah,
getting
yeah,
to
yeah.
go. And we went to Phoenix. And I threw a little team bonding experience.
Yeah.
And once I threw the team bonding experience, they're like, oh, whoa, okay.
Yeah.
I see what JD is.
Yeah.
Okay. And then now personality starts coming out.
Yeah.
And then now I'm not playing and I'm fine. And then now in film session, AD, that's not it.
Yeah.
Because I know I have not a first year coach, but Frank Vogel, it's his first team, but it's all a coaching staff that he didn't hire. The organization hired it. So they're all like, all right, can they call Bron out?
I was about to say, yeah.
We do the same thing now.
Yeah.
Can we call Luke out? Yeah, we call Luke out.
Yeah.
Well, how many times? What are we going to do it? How? And so at that time is, hey, let me take it off your plate.
Yeah.
Let me call them out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that now they can, you know what, Jared, you're right.
Because he respects you.
Yeah. But
not saying he didn't respect the coaches, but like, if it's your homeboy
for
to say
sure.
something to you,
but
like,
also
okay.
too is we gave Bron, like, listen, Bron, you can mess up one doing this. You can be lazy this time. You can't be lazy twice.
Yeah.
You can get backdoor once. You can't get backdoor twice.
Right.
AD, listen, bro, when you get the ball, go to work.
Yeah.
Don't wait for the double. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it was different stuff. Because you know what? It's going to be all the other guys messing up more than them. So when it's out there, I'm not going to see a clip go by. They mess up and we don't say nothing. Nah. I'd be like, rewind it.
You're the king of that.
You know what I mean? Rewind it. No,
we're not doing that.
We're not doing that.
We're not doing that.
Listen,
Yes.
We're doing it.
Yeah, and they respected it because if you can gamble with someone, if I can eat dinner with you, drink wine with you, hang out with you, go to a movie with you, I can tell you what you're doing wrong.
Yeah.
Because now I'm the guy, well, I'm not trying to steal your minutes. I'm here only to win.
Yeah.
That's all I'm here. So if you're not gonna listen to me, and now looking back on it, they knew I was coaching then. I'm coaching now, but I'm watching film with those guys. Caruso, Dennis Schroeder, who came back. I was by my locker. I'm watching film with him. I'm telling you, listen, you gotta throw the lob to AD. You're a bounce pass. He's a lob guy.
Yeah.
You gotta change. He's not changing.
Yeah.
You know, and sometimes you gotta have these conversations, and that's why I think that I'm a player's coach is because they can respect not when you played. I'm going to tell you. Now, we can argue about it.
Yeah.
And that was the whole thing with Russ. I was supposed to go back to help bridge that gap.
Yeah.
That was how it's supposed to be. It didn't end up working out like that. But now I'm telling Bron and Rich and the Lakers, this is what I can provide that you guys don't even know.
Yeah.
And so players respected it. I don't believe the management respected it as much because I would have been back that following year, which it happened. It all happens for a reason. And if I stay there, then I don't get this coaching job.
Yeah.
Then we probably wouldn't have won the championship. And now I'm looking, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
This is too good of an opportunity to pass up.
Pass
So
up,
it ended up
for
working
sure.
out perfect, man.
For sure. You knew you was gonna win it. You knew y'all was gonna
That
win
year I knew we was going to win it. We was loaded. We were
That was
number
nice.
one seed. It was us for the Clippers. Clippers are the only other team I was worried about. They beat us more times than we beat them.
it. Yeah.
Kawhi and Paul George were playing at a high level.
going crazy.
I wanted to be in the Western Conference Finals, LA, at home. Obviously, COVID had a
Yeah.
bubble. And then once they lost to Denver, Denver was good, but they weren't beating us
They weren't.
at that time.
No,
AD and Bron were playing at such a high level. We had so much depth. Rondo became in playoff Rondo. But to be honest with you, I had a good time, but I feel a little cheated. We get in a parade.
Yeah.
We went to Vegas, and we went to Vegas when no one was there. Our parties were just us. Imagine going to a pool party, you got 20 people. Ain't no one in there.
You're like, I seen
you know
all
what I'm
y'all
saying?
already.
Yeah. So I thought I cheated a little bit of that. I still have my ring. You're still cemented. You still have that. But to be honest with you, still close with those guys. The experience you have of now you're a champion. Now as a coach, I can go into coaches' meetings like, listen, bro, I've been on a championship team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen it. Sometimes it's not always black and white. Sometimes you gotta let it be a player. JaVale coming in with 2 chains, walking in.
Yeah.
Rondo wearing an Apple Watch on the phone
Yeah.
during practice. Bron eating fruit while a coach talking.
Yeah.
All this, hey, tuck your shirt in, all the proper. Listen, that's not how it always
bro,
goes.
it's all right.
This ain't Bob
It's
Knight, bro.
all
Listen
right.
here, man.
They gonna perform? All right, bet. They
Yes. And so there's a difference between a vet team and a young team, and I understand it. And so that's why I'm just soaking up all these different coaches of, hey, I like what he does. Oh, I like what Frank, Doc Rivers. I'm just taking a little bit. So once my time comes,
You gonna
because
be
it ain't coming, it ain't going to be too long, then now I've had all this experience and now I know where to tap in from.
So is the goal to be a head coach?
That's the goal.
That's the goal.
So my goal was either going to be a head coach or a GM.
Mhm.
I talked to what's it called, T. Lou and Chauncey and all these different guys and different GMs. Steve Kerr, because he was
Yeah.
both. Steve Kerr, obviously, you know what I'm saying, was a GM. He traded for me in Phoenix, and now he's that one. And so to me is the money's crazy for coaches right now.
Yeah.
That's for one.
Yeah.
For two is I just felt like my knowledge of passing it down. Now when I become a head coach, all these young players the Bookers of the world, the Kuz, Giannis, they're still in the league.
Mm-hmm.
So now from a recruiting standpoint, hey, listen, this is what I bring to the table.
Yeah.
They now know because I was teaching Giannis in timeouts and book back then, and in Braun or Bronny, whenever those guys start coming, I done had all you at, I had all you and stuff like that. Yeah. I've been in the rooms when you see the clip right now with DeMar DeRozan thought it was a done deal. The Lakers. I'm at the meeting. No one even knows about that. Yeah. Now he brought it up. I'm over here talking about the money and the salary with DeMar. So now imagine when I'm a coach.
Exactly.
Yeah. DeMar DeRozans, the Damian Lillards, the Bradley Beals. Listen, we done talked to all those guys, man. Yeah. So I done had relationships with everybody. Now it's, can you coach? We can communicate your X's and O's right at the right time. But a lot of it is talking to you. Why are you not like him? Yeah. Well, let's figure this out.
Exactly.
That's what hats 80%.
Yeah, exactly. So last thing on that coaching part, what was the biggest adjustment? Because you go from literally being a player.
Yes.
Straight to the front of, what was the biggest adjustment from that? Now that you a coach for
There's some sacrifices you had to make.
Bro, it was just timing because in my mind, I'm going back to the Lakers. Yeah. So by the time I'm thinking to the point where, hey, listen, I'm not going back. To me, deciding to become a coach is like 4 or 5 days. So literally, I want you to think you have training, you're going to go play. It's different when you've been out 3 or 4 months. Hey, I got injury, I'm done. Yeah. I'm actually prepping that I'm going back.
Another season.
And then now I have to turn it off like, well, sure, I'm not going to work out no more. I'm in Vegas training. Like I'm basically there 3 or 4 days, not training, getting my contract right. And so now I get there. So now I come, it's walking in and going to this locker room, then that locker room. Yeah. So now I'm in a four locker room stalls compared to the 15. I'm in the showers that are bootleg to the ones that are premium 5-star. I'm in the plane. I'm in the back of the plane instead of the front of the plane, the gambling table. Yeah. So it took me 2-3 months of a mental like, wow. I'm in the front of the bus instead of the back of the bus, cracking jokes and getting on and clowning. Yeah. And so it just took me 3-4 months like, wow. So that's why as a mentality is, I stopped wearing the backpack and had the coach's roller. I had to change my mindset. Okay, listen, I'm dressing like this compared to like that. You missed the camaraderie. Yeah. I don't really miss playing in the game. My knees would hurt at the end. Anyway, man, listen, I miss going to a dinner with y'all. Hey, we're going to hang out. Hey, listen, we're going on the bus. I'm gambling. Yeah. Now I'm doing dinners by myself. Maybe one-on-one coach. I might be watching film. Yeah. So the camaraderie I get now is summertime. It's summer league. Yeah. Hey, what's going on, fellas? Hey, going on here? I see so-and-so, or I'm going to go work out with Tim in Miami, and now camaraderie there. Let's go to dinner. Yep. I get that, but during the season, I got to watch film. I just watch film with JaVale and Spencer. I got to make sure these guys are right because those are my players. I got to make sure they're good because if they're not good, it's on me.
They make you look. Yeah.
And so that's all it was. And now I have my flow. I coach my one summer league game. Now I have this. I'll coach summer league now probably full next year. Yeah. And so now the process goes. And before you know it, you're going to forget about Dudley the player.
Yeah.
Yeah. You forget Dudley. I remember you said high school, he's old as hell. Yeah. Now Boston College is gone. Now it's going to be player gone. Now it's going to be coach. Now it's like, oh, yeah, listen, you used to play, Dad? Yeah. You used to play? Like, oh, they're going to forget about it.
Yeah. You're right.
It's crazy, like, as a coach now, and, like, what is it? So, for me, we see the head coach, right? Yeah. What is your role like as the coach you are now? Because you just mentioned like Spence and JaVale are your players. You know what I mean? But how many coaches is it?
We have about, this one like 10, but you have from the bench, you have 3, you have the associate head, first, second. So usually a lot of teams work your first and second, or usually a offensive coordinator or defensive coordinator. Mm-hmm. So as the third, when I first came in there, I was a little helping with both, but I gravitated more the defensive on this one because to call people out. Offense, we have Luka. He gonna figure it out. So me defensively, it's, hey, listen, that we took the same defense from the Lakers that we had so I could teach it because I knew I just played in it for 2 years. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So then now I'm helping other coaches out because I understand the concept of, hey, no roller behind on a pick and roll, when to trap, when not. And so for me, that was my role of helping that one, making adjustments. Hey, my whole thing is I can look at a player, he needs to come out. Mm-hmm. And so now they might ask, we might have a sheet that might tell us the subs, hey, so-and-so, look at that. So-and-so's high in the corner. Go pick him out on offense.
That's a fact, though. Like, they
go pick him out on offense, right?
They ask him. They're like, listen, JD, what you think? Because, like, he been in those situations.
You got to make
that we are in. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So they're like, yo, do you see it? And be like, listen, he might need a second. You know, like he might need to come out for a second.
Or vice versa. He hit 2 shots, let him stay in.
Keep him in.
Let him stay in. Why? I know he's supposed to come out. Yeah.
That's a huge thing that, like, some coaches, and I'm not saying all coaches do it, but like they don't understand, oh, he's getting a rhythm.
Yeah.
Like let him rock a little bit. Maybe But then once he missed, hey, let's go. Come on, take him on.
They're like that. Yeah. So for me, it was like,
tough.
that was my role. And we have pods of like, hey, it's not just I have one guy. Our 3 or 4 coaches have 4 or 5 guys, and we tap on all of it. So I might not touch Luka. I might touch Tim and Spence and JaVale, and maybe Luka might be after practice one day. Hey, listen, I saw this, but when it comes defensively, I'm touching everybody.
Yep.
And offensively, I don't really do the work pregame with you. I'm more in the game. Listen, you have Steph Curry. He is great on offense. We need to put him in pick and rolls. Bring him up. It's a respect that we're bringing him up because overall we got to wear him down so he doesn't do that. And so I'm constantly on those guys. Hey, when it comes to the plays, that's the other coaches. I'm on here. Listen, right now there's no plays needed. It's ISO. We play the Phoenix Suns. Listen, we can't move the ball back side to side. They're good at switching everything. Go as the worst defender and let's make the play. You know what I'm saying? And so we have a great coaching staff. And for me to learn from Sweeney's defense, J Kidd's calmness, St. Jean's adjustment offensively, to me, it's made me better. And I just take bits and pieces. Frank Vogel's here, asking him questions. I'll call Quinn Snyder. Quinn Snyder, I'm looking for your number right now to ask you why he's out of coaching. Hey, what's going on? Like, you want to learn, like it's like it's like you're starting over again. I'm a rookie. I'm still a rookie until that first game of the year. Like, I want to learn, why do you do this? You know what? I don't agree with it, but I do like that. Let me take that. And so that's your whole thing. Is I was on coaches conference calls this year doing Zooms, and it's Tom Crean from Indiana, you different all these assistants. And that's what this is. It's free agencies in basketball. It's free agency in coaching. Coaches move all around. Coaches go there. I might be in Dallas here for the next 4 or 5 years, and then I'm here, then I'm here. You just don't even know, man. So that's the connection game you got to have.
That's a fact.
That's crazy.
Fact. Hey, man, JD, this has been an amazing podcast. I appreciate you coming on with us.
Anytime.
And once again, we want to thank all our followers, everybody that's tuned in to us. It's only getting bigger and better. We appreciate all the support. Subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all that. Hey, this is going to be a good one. It's going to be a good one. Make sure y'all tune in and share it with everybody. All right, peace.
Appreciate y'all.